In a remote corner of a village, beyond the muddy paths, lived two sisters and their elderly farmer father in a crumbling hut. The roof leaked on rainy nights, and cold wind slipped in through the cracks. They had a small piece of land that barely grew enough grain to fill their stomachs. Still, every morning before sunrise, the farmer Ramnath would take his plow and head to the field. His daughters, Rama and Shobha, sometimes joined him, but most of their time was spent cooking and fetching water. The villagers knew Ramnath was very poor. Sometimes someone would give him a torn blanket, other times a quiet sack of rice. People respected him for his honesty and hard work. Yet, poverty clung to his home like a shadow. One day, after the rains had softened the earth, Ramnath was plowing the field when his tool struck something hard. Curious, he took a spade and started digging. Not far beneath, he found an old, rusted pot. To his shock, it was heavy. When he opened it, his eyes widened. It was full of gold coins. Ramnath's hands trembled. He had never even seen a gold bangle before, and now there was a pot full of gold. He buried the pot again carefully, took it home later that night, and hid it under his cot. He couldn't sleep. Should he tell someone? The police? The government? The neighbors? But what if nothing was left for him? The next day, he went to the city and exchanged a few coins. For the first time in his life, he held so much money. Slowly, over the weeks, he began using the gold: new slippers, colorful dresses for his daughters, repairs to the house. Everything started to change. The villagers noticed. Ramnath's clothes were no longer torn, and his hut transformed into a proper home. People began to wonder. Some said it must be a government scheme. Others guessed his daughters got city jobs. One old woman whispered, "He must have found treasure." But Ramnath said nothing. He stopped farming and began traveling to the city daily, selling, buying. Soon, he even had a bullock cart, then a motorcycle. Some villagers grew jealous. He starved for years, and now suddenly he's rich. Must be something shady. They said, he should have told us. We supported him. One day, some mischief makers tried to break into his house. They found nothing, but rumors spread. Ramnath grew anxious. If the truth reached the government, he could lose both the treasure and his peace. He came up with a plan. One day, he organized a community feast at the village temple. Everyone was served delicious food and sweets. He gifted toys to children, dug a new well for the village, and even repainted the school. Gradually, envy faded, replaced by admiration for his generosity. Yet, his daughter Rama always worried, "Papa, has this gold brought us happiness, or will it take everything away one day?" Ramnath smiled, "Child, this is God's test. We lived with honesty in poverty, now let's see if we can stay honest in wealth too." Years passed. Ramnath grew old. His daughters became teachers. One day, a government officer arrived in the village and announced that during recent land excavations, some historical artifacts had been discovered. Anyone possessing ancient items must report them. Ramnath's heart sank. That night, he looked at the pot under his cot, now half empty. He knew the time had come. The next morning, he went to the officer and said, "Sir, years ago I found a pot in my field. I used some of it, but now I want to surrender the rest to the government." The officer was shocked. But seeing Ramnath's honesty, he forwarded the report. A district inquiry followed. Since Ramnath voluntarily came forward, the government forgave him. The remaining gold was declared a historical treasure and placed in a museum. Ramnath was honored with the Honest Farmer